This is a Genius Hour roadmap. And so right here we've got students, they're going to start with their passion. So again, this is the roadmap to help students get on board. And as you do this, you might take out some of these teacher checks as your students get going, and you could just add an image on here. Again, this whole slide deck is customable, so make a copy, feel free to edit for your class. So the first thing that the students are going to do is they are going to talk about their passions. And so right here is a graphic organizer that your students will complete. What do they do for fun? What are they curious about? What have they always wanted to make, create, or do? So again, they're just going to fill this out. And then after they fill that out, they're going to kind of start to brainstorm some ideas. And when they brainstorm, they will go through, they want lots of ideas. It can be the worst idea ever. And then they also want to build on each other's ideas. So maybe they've got one idea about basketball and then they go into like injuries with basketball or whatever. So then again, this is just some tips for the students. You can have them fill out a bracket on paper, or you can have them fill out a bracket online. So right here's the bracket where they will add all of those bad ideas, great ideas, every idea they have will go on this bracket. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take this. Let me go ahead and send this to the back so that way your students don't have any issues with that. They're going to take this, copy it, and let's say this was the winner. They're going to put the winner right here. This one was the winner. So again, they're going to go through, add all the winning ones to the board, and then they'll go down to their last one. As students kind of go backwards, they'll be able to go, oh, I want to look at this, and I want to be able to um, once they finish this project, they'll be able to say, okay, this is the next winner. I'm going to do that activity. So then they can kind of use their bad ideas, their worst ideas, and their best ideas for other projects throughout the year, or they could start the bracket all over again. This next one, they're going to drill down to what their topic is, what their question is, and what their prediction might be. And then after they do that, they're going to have a checkpoint. So the next step is that teacher check-in. Students will complete this checkpoint before they move on to the teacher check-in. So they have to have all of these marked with these little check marks. And once they have all the check marks, then they can move on to the teacher's check. So they need to have their topic, their question, all of those things need to be done again before they meet with the teacher. Then they could add a comment and say, Miss Howell, I need to meet with you. And then they can add the description of what they need to talk about. And then the teacher can type in here, or the student, what did you learn? What did you make or create? And you can change this again, whatever you want for the teacher check-in. Right here's the KWHLAQ chart. Students will answer these questions to start to think about their project. Once they do that, they move on to the next step, which is the action plan. So they are going to brainstorm ideas, come up with questions, and I would say have students work backwards. Give them that timeline of when the project is due and have them work backwards of when that's due so they know exactly when things need to be done. They also need to go through resources they need, potential barriers, and if it's been completed. And then here, the students, they are going to do a teacher's check-in. And again, there's that checkpoint before they meet with the teacher, and then they'll tag the teacher, meet with the teacher, and talk about their roadmap. After that, they will then begin to research. So students right here, they've got all of these different areas where they are going to research. They're going to provide where they found that research, and they will type in these boxes. Again, you could print these out if you want to. And then right here, this was a resource I found. This is about Genius Hour research. So students could go in here, and these are kid-friendly sites for students to look up research. Right here, teacher check-in again. Students are going to go over their research. They need to make sure that they do this before they meet with the teacher. Once they meet with the teacher, they're going to start to create their product. So right here is a choice board of different ideas. They're going to drag this star to whatever they chose, and they're going to do those activities. Each of these, I tried to link a resource to all of these, like Slides Mania. So students could go to Slides Mania for their Google Slide template. Maybe they need a podcast template. All of these have really good links that the students can click and use for their board. Now, they don't have to, but it is there if they need a template to start from. Canva also has a resource for students as well. After that, they're going to do a teacher check-in. So once they start their project and kind of finish it, the teacher will be able to check in with the student and see how they're going with that. The next phase is right here, and they're going to start to present. So this is using the Pixar kind of method. And here's some really good examples of like the worst presentation ever and um, some TED Talks by kids. And they're using that Pixar kind of template, and the students are going to go in once upon a time every day and fill in these blanks to give a really good, solid presentation. After that, they're going to have a teacher's check in to kind of go over their presentation and how they're going to present the information. Again, a checklist before they meet with the teacher. And then once they meet with the teacher, they'll be able to talk about how it's gone. And then the next step is reflecting. So students will complete this reflection after they've presented to the class or in the video or however they presented their information. And they're going to talk about what did they struggle with, what was the exciting part, and then what do they want to do next. And so after that, they have another teacher check-in and they kind of go over this rubric. There's two different examples that I was able to kind of find, and they will go over those rubrics and then they'll talk about next steps. Do they want to complete a next project? What is that going to look like? What changes need to be done? And then the student can start this process all over again, and they could get a new template. So again, that is kind of the genius hour thought behind this idea.